shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the hurly-burly is done. When the battle is lost. And won.
That will be for set of sun.
Where the place?
Upon the heath.
There. To meet with Macbeth.
Oh, I come, Grimalkin!
Had it called!
Anon!
Fair is foul and foul is fair. Cover through the fog and in filthy air.
What bloody man is that? He can tell of revolt.
This is the sergeant who fought against my captivity. Hail, brave friend. Say to the king the knowledge of the broil as thou didst leave it.
Doubtful it stood, the villainous MacDonald, worthy to be a rebel, for fortune did swarm upon his damned smile, and showed like a rebel's whore. But all is too weak for brave Macbeth. He deserves that name, disdaining fortune with his brandished steel, for smoking bloody execution, like valor's minion carved out the passage till he faced the slave. He unseated him from the naves of the chaps and fixed his head upon our battlement.
Lucky cousin, you're a gentleman. Let's speak, I
Mark, King of Scotland, mark! No sooner justice had with valor armed compelled these skipping currents to trust their heels. But the Norwegian lords, surveying vantage, with furbished arms and new supplies of men, began a fresh assault.
No dismayed this our captains, Banquo and Macbeth?
Yes, as sparrows, eagles, or the hair of the lion. I must report that they risked cannons overcharged with double cracks. They doubly redoubled strokes upon the foe. Except they meant to bathe in the reeking wounds. But I am faint. My gashes cry for help.
So well thy words define thee as thy words. They smack of honor both. Go and get him surgeons. Who comes here?
The worthy Thane of Ross.
What a haste looks through his eyes that speaks things strange.
God save the king.
Whence camest thou, worthy Thane?
From Fife, great king, when Norwegian banners flout the sky and fan our people cold. Norway himself, assisted by that most disloyal traitor, the Thane of Cod, began a dismal conflict, till that Belena's bridegroom confronted him, with point against point, rebellious arm against arm to curb his lavish spirit. In conclusion, victory fell on us.
Great happiness.
Now, Swino, Norway's king, craves composition. We would not deign him burial of his men until he disbursed $10,000 to our general.
No more shall that Thane of Cotter deceive our bosom interest. Go and pronounce his present death, and with his former title, greet Macbeth.
See it done.
What he hath lost, noble Macbeth hath won.
had chestnuts in her lap. Well, give me, quoth I. Aroint thee, witch, the rump-fed Runyon cried. Her husband to Aleppo had gone, and in a sieve all thither sail, and like a rat without a tail, I'll do, oh, I'll do.
Oh, I'll give thee a win.
Thou art kind.
And I another.
Oh, and I myself have all the other, shall drain him dry as hay. Sleep shall neither night nor day hang upon his penthouse lid. He shall live wearisome nights 9 times 9. He shall be tempest-tossed. For look what I have found.
Show me! Show me!
Here I have a pilot's thumb. Wrecked as homeward he did come.
A drum! Macbeth doth come.
The weird sisters,
Hand in hand,
coasters
of the sea and land,
thus to go about, thrice to thine and thrice to mine, and thrice again
to make up 9.
Peace. Church office.
So foul and fair a day I have not seen.
Aye. How far is it to Forest? What are these? So withered and so wild in their attire that they look not like the inhabitants of the earth, and yet are on it. Live you, or are ye aught that a man might question? Well, you seem to understand me by each at once her choppy finger laying upon her skinny lips. You should be women, and yet your beards forbid me to interpret that you are so.
Speak, if you can. What are you?
All hail Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Glamis.
All hail, Macbeth! Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor!
All hail, Macbeth. Thou shalt be king hereafter.
Good sir, why do you start and seem to fear things that do sound so fair? In the name of truth, are ye fantastical, or that which outwardly you show? My noble companion you greet with present grace, and with great prediction of noble hap, and of royal hope that he seems wrapped withal. To me you speak not! If you can look into the seeds of time and tell which grain will grow and which will not, speak then to me, who neither beg nor fear thy charms, nor thy hate.
Hail.
Hail!
Hail.
Lesser than Macbeth, but greater.
Not so happy, yet much happier.
Thou shalt get king, though thou be none. So all hail Macbeth and Banquo.
Banquo and Macbeth, all hail.
You imperfect speakers, tell me more. By Sinel's death I know I am Thane of Glamis, but how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives. And to be king stands not within the prospect of belief, no more than to be Cawdor. Say from whence you owe this strange intelligence, or why upon this blasted heath you stop our way with such prophetic greeting. Speak, I charge you.
The earth hath bubbles, and these are of them. Whither are they vanished?
Into the air, as breath into the wind. Would they had stayed.
were such things here that we do talk about, or have we eaten of the insane root that takes reason prisoner?
Your children shall be kings.
You shall be king.
And Thane of Cawdor, too, went it not so?
To that self-same tune of words. Who's there?
The king hath happily received Macbeth, the news of thy success. And when he reads thy personal venture into the rebels' fight, and that self-same day finds thee in the stout Norwegian ranks, as thick as hail, and everyone did bear thy praise in thy kingdom's great defense before him.
We are sent from our royal master to give you thanks.
And, as an earnest of greater honor, he bade me call thee Thane of Cawdor. Hail, worthy Thane, for it is thine.
Can the devil speak true?
The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why address me in borrowed robes?
He who was Thane lives yet, but under heavy suspicion bears the life which he deserves to lose. Whether he was combined with those of Norway, or did the rebel help, I know not. But treason confessed, Peniel and proved have overthrown him.
Glamis and Thane of Cawdor. Thanks for your pains. Do you not hope your children shall be kings, when those that gave the Thane of Cawdor to me promised no less to them?
That trusted home may yet enkindle you unto the throne besides the Thane of Cawdor. But 'tis strange. And oftentimes, to win us to our harm, the instruments of darkness tell us truths. To betray us in deepest consequence. Cousins, a word, I pray you.
Two truths are told as happy prologues to the swelling act of the imperial theme. I thank you, gentlemen. It cannot be ill. It cannot be good. If ill, why hath he given me earnest of success, commencing in a truth? I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to that suggestion whose horrid image doth unfix my hair and make my seated heart knock at my ribs? The present fears are less than horrible imaginings. My thought, whose murder yet is but fantastical, shakes till my single state of man is smothered in surmise, and nothing is but what is not.
Look how our partner's wrapped.
If chance would have me king, why, chance may crown me without my stir.
New honors come upon him, like our strange garments, cleave not to their mold, but with the aid of use.
Come what come may, time and the hour runs through the roughest day.
Worthy Macbeth, we stay upon your patience.
Give me your favor. My dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. Kind gentlemen, your pains are registered. Let us toward the king. Think upon what hath chanced, and let us speak our free hearts to each other.
Very glad.
Till then, enough. Come, friends.
Cawdor yet executed? Have not those that were just dispatched returned?
My liege, they are not yet come back, but I have spoken with one who saw him die, who did report that he confessed his treason, implored your highness pardon, and set forth a deep repentance. Nothing in his life became him like believing it. He died as one that had thrown away the dearest thing he owed, as it were a careless trifle.
There is no art to finding out the mind's destruction in the brain, looking at the face. He was a gentleman, on whom I had built an absolute trust. Oh, most worthiest cousin. The sin of my disregard and ingratitude was heavy on me even now. Would that if you had less deserved proportion both of thanks and of payment. All I can say is more as I do than all can pay.
The service and loyalty I owe in doing it pays itself. Your highness' part is to receive our duties, and our duties are to your throne. As children and servants do what they should by doing everything to your love and honor.
welcome hither. And Noble Banquo is no less titled and should be known no less to have done so. Let me and full be in my heart.
There if I grow, the harvest is your own.
My drops of sorrow seek to hide themselves, but all those here who are sons, or kinsmen, or thanes, or those who are sitting the closest to us, we want it to be known that we shall establish our estate on our eldest, Malcolm, whom we hereinafter name the Prince of Cumberland. And the parts of nobleness visible from here to there, like stars, they will shine forth on all nobles, all those who are noble like, and bring us all closer together.
The rest is labor, which is not used for you. I'll be myself the harbinger and make joyful the hearing of my wife with your approach. So humbly take my leave.
My worthy Cotter.
The Prince of Cumberland. Now that is a step on which I must fall, or else overleap, for in my way it lies. Stars, hide your fires. Let not light see my black, deep desires.
True, worthy Banquo. He is so full valiant, and with his commendations, I eat my banquet. Let's after him, who's gone before this scared Mr. Bidwell. He is a perfect kinsman.
They met me in the day of success. And I have learned by the perfectest report that they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned a desire to question them further, they vanished. While I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came a message from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title before these weird sisters saluted me, and referred me to the coming on of time with pale king that shall be. This have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou mightst not lose the dues of rejoicing by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Lay to thy heart and farewell. Long thou art, and Cawdor, and shalt be what thou art promised. But I do fear thy nature, it is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou would be great, or not without ambition, but without the illness that should attend it. For thou would not play false, yet would wrongly win. Hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirits in thine ear, and chastise with the valor of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round, which fate doth seem to have thee crowned. Yes, what is your tidings?
The king comes tonight.
Thou art mad to say it. Is not thy master with him, who would have informed me for preparation?
Well, so please you, it is true. One of my fellows had to speak with him, who was almost dead for breath, scarcely had more than would make up his message.
Give him tending, he brings great news. The Raven himself is horse that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here and fill me from the crown to the toe, top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood and stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it. Come to my woman's breast and take my milk for gall, you murdering ministers, where'er in your sightless substances you wait on nature's mischiefs. Come, thick night, and pull thee in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wounded makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark to cry, hold, hold. Great Globs, worthy Cawdor, greater than both by the all-hail hereafter. Thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel not the future in the instant.
My dearest love, Duncan comes tonight.
And when goes hence?
Tomorrow as he purposes.
Never shall sun none morrow see. Your face, my theme, is as a book, where men may read strange matters. To beguile the time, look like the time. Bear welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He that's coming must be provided for, and you shall put this night's great business into my dispatch, which shall to all our nights and days to come give solely sovereign sway and masterdom.
We'll speak further.
Only look up clear. To alter favor ever is to fear. Leave the rest to me.
This castle hath a pleasant suite. The air nimbly and sweetly recommends to ourselves, toward our tender selves.
The heaven's breath smells wooingly here. The air is delicate.
See, our honored hostess. The love that finds us sometimes is our trouble. Still, we thank the love. Herein, I teach you, bid God to forgive us for your pain, and thank us for your trouble.
All our service at every point, twice done and then done double, we're poor against those honors wherewith your majesty loads our house.
What is the thing of God? We put him to the hill. That is our purpose, his purveyor. And he rides well. And his great love sharpens his spirit and helps him to his head. Very noble lady. You are our guest. You are your guest.
Your servants ever have theirs, themselves, and what is theirs at your highness' pleasure?
Take my hand. Without me to mark your coast. Please think highly of him. Continue our greatness.
If it were done, when 'tis done, 'twere well it were done quickly. The assassination could trammel up the consequence and catch with his surest success. That but this murder might be the be-all and the end-all here. And here upon this bank and shoal of time, we jump the life to come. But in these cases, we still have judgment here, that we teach bloody instructions which return to plague the inventor. This even-handed justice commends the ingredients of our poisoned chalice to our own lips. He's here in double trust. First, as I am his kinsman and subject, strong both against the deed. Then as his host, who should against his murder shut the door, not bear the knife myself. Besides, this Duncan hath borne his faculties so meek, hath been so clear in his great office, that his virtues will lead like angels at the deep damnation of his taking off. Pity will blow the horrid deed in every eye. I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, only vaulting ambition, which overleaps itself, falls on the other. How now, what news?
Well, he has almost stopped. Why have you left the chamber?
Hath he asked for me?
No, you not. He has.
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late, and I have bought golden opinions from all sorts of people, which would be worn in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Was the Hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since? And wakes it now to look so green and pale like what it did so freely? From this time, such I account thy love. Out there art thou afeared to be the same in thine own act and valor as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have that which thou esteemest the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem, letting I dare not wait upon I would?
Prithee, peace! I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none.
Oh, what beast was it then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you would be so much more than man. No time or place did that here that fitness now does unmake you. I have given suck, and know how tender it is to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from his boneless gums and dashed the brains out had I so sworn as you had done to this.
If we should fail!
We failed! But screw your courage to the sticking place and we'll not fail! When Duncan is asleep, his two chamberlains will I, with wine and wassail, so convince that memory shall be a fume. When in their swinish sleep their drenched natures lie as in a death, what cannot you and I perform against the unguarded Duncan? Would not put upon his spongy officers who shall bear the guilt of our great quell.
Bring forth men children only, for thy undaunted metal should compose nothing but males. Will it not be received when we have marked with blood the sleepy two of his own chamber, and used their very daggers that they have done it?
Dares receive it other, as we shall make our grief and clamor roar upon his death.
I am settled, and will bend each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away, mock the time with fairest show. The false face must hide what the false heart doth know.
night, boy?
The moon is down. I have not heard the clock.
And she goes down at 12.
I take it she's later, sir.
Aye. Here, take my sword. Ah, take thou this as well. There's husbandry in heaven. Their candles are all out. A heavy summons lies upon my soul like lead, and yet I would not sleep. Merciful powers, restrain in me the cursed thoughts that nature gives way to in repose. But hold, give me my sword. Who's there?
A friend.
What? Good sir, not yet at rest? The king's abed. He hath been in most unusual pleasure, and set forth great largesse to your officers. This, jewel, he greets your wife withal, by way of most kind hostess.
Being unprepared, our will became the servant to defect.
All is well. I dreamt last night of the three weird sisters. To you, they have shown some truth.
Oh, I think not of them. Yet, when we can entreat an hour to serve, we would spend it in some words upon that business, if you would grant the time.
Oh, at your kindest leisure.
If you shall cleave to my consent when it is, it shall make honor for you.
Yeah.
So I lose none in seeking to augment it, and maintain my bosom franchise and my allegiance clear. I will be counseled.
Good repose the while.
Thanks, sir, the like unto you. Flounce. God give you good night, sir.
Go bid thy mistress. When my drink is ready, she strike upon the bell.
Aye, my lord.
Get thee to bed. Is this a dagger, which I see before me? A handle toward my hand? Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not yet. I see thee still. Art thou not fatal vision, sensible to feeling as to sight? Art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation proceeding from the heat-oppressed brain? I see thee yet, in form as palpable as this which now I draw. It marshals the way that I was going. Such an instrument I was to use. Mine eyes have made fools of the other senses. I see thee still. And on thy blade and dudgeon, gouts of blood, which were not so before. Oh, there's no such thing. It's this bloody business which informs thus to mine eyes. Now nature seems dead, and wicked dreams abuse the curtained sleep. Witchcraft celebrates Hecate's offerings. Thou sure and firm set earth, hear not my steps, which way they walk, for fear thy very stones prate of my whereabouts, and take the present horror from the time which now suits with it. I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, company, for it is a knell. It summons thee to heaven or to hell.
What has made them drunk has made me bold. What has quenched them has given me fire. Hark!
God bless us.
Here was the owl that shrieked that fatal bellman, which gives the sternest good night. He is about it. The doors are open, and the serpent and grooms mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their pulses, that death and nature do contend about them whether they live or die. Alack! I'm afraid they have a wait and she's not done. Oh, the enchantment of the deed confounds them. Hark, I laid their daggers ready, he could not miss them. Had you not so resembled my father as they slept, I'd have done it. My husband!
I've done the deed. Didst thou not hear a noise?
Oh, I heard the owl screaming and the crickets cry. Did not you speak?
When?
Now?
As I descended?
I,
Hark! Who lies in the second chamber?
Donald Bain.
This is a sorry sight.
A foolish thought to say a sorry sight.
There's one did laugh and sleep, and one cried murder. That they did wake each other. Stood and heard them, but they didn't say their prayers and address them again to sleep.
There are two lodged together.
One cried, God bless us, and amen the other, as they saw me with these hangman's hands. Listening to their fear, I could not say amen when they did say God bless us.
Considering them so deeply.
But wherefore could I not pronounce amen? I most need a blessing, and amen stuck in my throat.
These deeds must not be thought after these ways. Who will make us mad?
He thought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more. Macbeth does murder sleep. The innocent sleep. Sleep that knits up the raveled sleeve of care, the death of each day's life, sore labor's bath, balm of hurt minds, great nature's second course, chief nourisher in life's feast.
What do you mean?
Still it cried, sleep no more, to all the house. Glamis hath murdered sleep, for Cawdor shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Who was it that thus cried? Worthy fiend, you do unbend your noble strength to think so brain sickly of thee. Go, get some water and wash this filthy witness from your hands. Why did you bring the daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go, carry them and smear the sleeping with blood.
No, I'll go no more. I'm afraid to think what I have done. Look upon them again, I dare not.
Infirm of purpose! Give me the daggers! The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures, just the eye of childhood that fears a painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their guilt!
Whence is that knocking? How is it with me that every noise appalls me? What hands are here? Oh, they pluck out mine eyes. Will all of great Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my hand? No. This my hand would rather make the multitudinous seas incarnadine. The green one red.
My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white. There's knocking at the south entry. Retire we to our chamber. A little water clears us of this deed. How easy is it then? Your constancy has left you unattended. More knocking! Go, get on your nightgown, lest occasion call us and show us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deed, it's best not know myself. What Duncan with thy knocking? I would thou could.
I'm a-coming! Goodness sakes! I'm on my way. Oh, now that's a knocking indeed! Oh, kaput! 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 Oh. What is this? If a man were porter of Hellgate, he shall have lots of turning the key. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there in the name of Beelzebub? Look, over here. It's a farmer. He hanged himself over expectation of plenty. Come inside, farmer. Welcome to hell. You have napkins enough about you? Wipe the sweat from your brow? Did you bring any napkins or Kleenexes or something?
Get the door!
It's in here somewhere. Oh, there you go.
You're not even funny. Get the door!
I'll get it when I'm good ready to wet.
I'm not a witch. I'm your wife.
I know!
Not even sure I want to be that anymore.
Knock, knock, knock. Who is there? And what are you? Sometimes you're this, sometimes you're that. Ah, you're an equivocator. You can swear both the skills against either skill. Oh, but could not equivocate yourself to heaven. Here, have a drink. Too slow. You know, I used to have hair. Then I got married. Oh. I got one for you. I got one for you. Knock, knock. It's Ed. It's who? Brute? Okay. All together now. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
It's Ivan.
Ivan who?
Ivan terrible, awful, throbbing, nagging, hangover. What are you all anyway? This place is too cold for hell. I'll devil port it no further. But, oh, I see she let you in. I pray you, remember your porter?
Wasn't so late, friend, ere you went to bed, that you do lie so late.
Well, face sure we were out carousing until the second cock. Or maybe it was the third cock. There was lots of cocks. And drink is a great provoker of three things.
And what three things does drink especially provoke?
Face sure, nose painting, and sleep, and urine. And lechery, sir. Lechery. It provokes and unprovokes. It provokes the desire, but takes away the performance. It makes one. It mars one. It sets one up. It takes one down. And it makes one stand too. Makes one not stand too. Oh, my precious! In conclusion, it equivocates him in a sleep and giving him the lie, it leaves him.
I do believe drink gave thee the lie last night.
That it did, sir, in the very throat of me. But I requited him for his lie, and I think being too strong for him, so he took out my legs sometime. I made a shift to cast.
Is thy master stirring? Good point. Ah, our knocking has awaked him. Here he comes.
Good morrow, my lord.
Good morrow, Bo.
Is the king stirring, worthy thane?
Not yet.
He did command me to call on him timely. I have almost slipped the hour.
I'll bring you to him.
Anon, sir. Anon.
I know this is a joyful trouble, but yet 'tis one.
The labor we delights in physics pain. He'll show you the door.
I will make so bold to call, as it is my limited service.
Goes the king hence today?
He does. He did appoint so.
The night has been unruly. Where we lay, our chimneys were blown down, and lamentings heard in the air, strange screams of death and prophesying with accents terrible of dire combustion and confused events, new hatchet to the woeful time. Some say the earth was feverous and did shake.
'Twas a rough night.
My young remembrance cannot parallel a fellow to it.
Horror! 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 Tongue nor heart cannot name nor conceive thee!
What's the matter?
Confusion has made his masterpiece, most sacrilegious murder, has broke open the Lord's anointed temple and stole thence the life of the building!
What did you say, the life?
Mean you his majesty?
Approach the chamber and destroy your sight with a new gorgon. Do not bid me speak. See, then speak yourselves. Awake! Awake! Ring the alarm bell! Murder and treason! Banquo and Donalbain! Malcolm! Awake! Shake off this downy sleep, death's counterfeit, and look on death itself! Up! Up! And see the great doom's image! Banquo! Malcolm! As from your graves rise up and walk like sprites of countenances horror! Ring the bell!
What's the business that such a hideous trumpet calls to parley the sleepers of the house? Speak! Well, speak!
Oh, gentle lady, it is not for you to hear what I can speak. The repetition in a woman's ear would murder as it fell. Oh, Banquo, our royal master is murdered.
Whoa. Alas, what in our house?
Too cruel anywhere. Dear Duff, I prithee contradict thyself. Say it is not so.
Had I but died an hour before this chance, I lived a blessed time. For from this instant, there's nothing serious in mortality. Renown and grace is dead.
What is amiss?
You are, and don't even know it.
What?
The spring, the head, the fountain of your blood is stopped. The very source of it is stopped.
What?
Your royal father is murdered.
By whom?
Those of his chamber, it seems, have done it. Their hands and faces were badged with blood. So were their daggers, which unwiped we found on their pillows. They stood and stared. No man's life was to be trusted with them.
I do repent me of my fury that I did kill them.
What? Wherefore did you so?
Well, who can be wise, amazed, temperate and furious, loyal and neutral in a moment? No man. My violent love outran reason. Here lie Duncan, his silver skin laced with his golden blood. His gashed stabs look like a breach of nature for ruin's wasteful entrance. And there, the murderers, steeped in the colors of their own trade, their daggers breached with gore. Who could refrain that had a heart to love and courage make his love known?
Hold me hence!
Look to the lady.
Why do we hold our tongues? That most would claim this argument for hours.
What should be spoken here? Where our fate may rush and seize us. Let's away. Our tears are not yet brewed.
Nor our strong sorrow upon the foot of motion.
When we have our naked frailties hid that here suffer an exposure, let us meet together and question this most bloody piece of work to know it further. Here, fears and scruples shake us. In the mighty hand of God I stand, and thence against the undivulged pretense of treasonous malice.
So do I!
So all. Let's put on our manly readiness and meet in the hall together.
Well contented.
Very well.
What are you to do? Let's not consult with them. To show an unfelt sorrow is an office which the false man is easy.
Out to England and to Ireland our separated fortune will keep both of us the safer. Where we are, there are daggers in men's smiles, the near in blood and the nearer bloody.
This murderous shaft that shot hath not yet lighted, and our safest way is to avoid the aim. Therefore to horse, and let us not be dainty of leave taking, but shift away. There's warrant in that Thetford steals itself, when there's no mercy left.
I can remember well. Within the volume of which time I've seen hours dreadful, things strange. Oh, but this sore night hath trifled former knowings.
Ah, good mother. You see the heavens bloody this man's acts. By the clock, it is day, and yet darkness engulfs the traveling lamp. Is it night's predominance or earth's fear that does darkness the face of the earth in two, and the last lingering light should kiss it?
'Tis unnatural, even as the deed that is done.
Aye, and Duncan's horses, a thing most strange, beautiful and swift, turned wild in nature, broke from their stalls as if to make war with all mankind.
'Tis said they eat each other.
Yes. To the amazement of my eyes as they look upon them. There's the good Macduff. How goes the world, sir?
Why? See you not?
To know who did this more than bloody deed.
Those that Macbeth has slain.
The last that what good could they protect?
They were suborned. Malcolm and Donalbain, the king's two sons, have stolen away and fled, which puts upon them the suspicion of the deed.
Against nature still! Thriftless ambition that will raven up thy own life's spine. It's most like the sovereignty will fall upon Macbeth.
He is already named, and Gaunt is going to be invested.
Where's Duncan's body?
Carried to Colmkill, the ancient resting place of his predecessors, and guardian to their bones.
You to Skone?
No, cousin. I'll to fight.
Well, I will make for Skone.
Well, and may you see things well done there. Adieu.
Adieu.
God's benison go with you. And those who make good of bad, and friends of foes.
past it now. King, Cawdor, Glamis, all, as the weird women promised. And I fear thou play'st most foully for it. And yet it was said 'twould not stay in thy posterity, but that myself would be the root and father of many kings. If truth come from them as upon thee, Macbeth, their speech shine, why on the verities on thee made good, may they not be my oracles as well, and set me up in hope? But hush, no more.
Here's our chief guest.
If he had been forgot, he would have been as a gap in our great feast, and all thing unbecoming.
Tonight we'll hold a solemn supper, sir, and I'll request your presence.
Let your highness command upon me, to which my duties are ever new.
Ride you this afternoon?
Aye, my lord.
We would have else desired your good advice, which still hath been both brave and prosperous in this day's council, but we'll take tomorrow. Is it far you ride?
Well, as far, my lord, as 'twill fill up the time betwixt this and supper.
Fail not our feast.
My lord, I will not.
We hear our bloody cousins are bestowed in England and in Ireland, not confessing their cruel parricide, filling hearers with strange invention. But of that tomorrow, when therewithal we will have cause of state craving us jointly. Hie you to horse. Adieu till you return at night. Goes Leonce with you?
Aye, my lord. Our time calls upon us.
Oh, I wish your horses swift and sure of foot, so I do commend you to their backs. Farewell. Let every man be master of his time till 7 at night. To make society the sweeter welcome, we will keep ourselves till supper time alone. Well then, God be with you. Sirrah, a word with you. Attend these men our pleasure.
They are, my lord. Outside the palace gate.
Bring them before us. To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus. Our fears in Banquo stick deep. In his royalty of nature reigns that which would be feared. It is much he dares, and to that dauntless temper of his mind he hath the wisdom that doth guide his valor to act in safety. There is none but he, whose being I do fear. And under him my genius is rebuked. He chided the sisters when they put the name of king on me and bade them speak to him. Then prophet-like, they hailed him as father to a line of kings. Upon my head, they placed a fruitless crown and put a barren scepter in my grip, thence to be wrenched away with an unlineal hand. No son of mine succeeded. If it be so, for Banquo's issue have I filed my mind. For them, the gracious Duncan, have I murdered, put rancors in the vessel of my peace to make them kings, the seat of Banquo kings. Who's there? Go to the door and stay there till we call.
Aye, lord.
Was it not yesterday we spoke together?
It was, so please, your highness.
Well then. Have you considered my speech? No, it was he that in the times past, which held you so under fortune, which you thought had been my innocent self, how you were crossed, and all things else that might to a notion praise say, thus did Banquo.
Made it known to us.
Yes, I did so. And went further, which is now our point of second meeting. Do you find your patience so predominant in your nature that you can let this go? Are you so gospel to pray for this good man and for his issue, whose heavy hand hath bowed you to the grave and beggared yours forever?
We are men, my liege.
Aye. In the catalogue you go for men, as by the name of dogs. If you have a station, not in the worst rank of manhood, say it. Now put this business in your bosom, whose execution takes your enemy off, which in his death our health were perfect.
I am one, my liege, for whom the blows and buffets of the world have so incensed me what I do spite it. Die another, so weary with disaster, tugged with fortune, that I would set my lie on any chance to mend it or be rid of it.
Both of you know Banquo was your enemy.
True, my lord, that he was.
So is he mine, and in such bloody distance that every minute of his being thrusts against my nearest of life. Though I could, with bare-faced power, sweep him from my sight, bid my will avouch it, yet I must not, for certain friends that are both his and mine, whose loves I may not drop, but wail his fall, who I myself struck down. Thence it is that I to your assistance do make love, masking the business from the common eye for sundry weighty reasons.
We shall, my lord, perform what you command us. Though our
Your spirits shine through you. Within this hour at most, I will advise you where to plant yourself, acquaint you with the perfect spy of the time. The moment for it must be done tonight. And something far from the palace. Always thought that I require a clearness, and with him to leave no rubs nor botches in the work. Leon's his son, that keeps him company, whose absence is no less material to me than is his father's, must embrace the fate of that dark hour. Resolve yourself apart, and I'll come to you anon.
We are resolved, my lord. That we are.
I'll call upon you straight. Abide with him. It is concluded. Banquo, thy soul's flight, if it find heaven, must find it out tonight.
Is Banquo gone from court?
Aye, madam, but he will return this evening.
Say to the king I would attend his leisure for a few words.
Madam, I will.
Naught's had, but all is spent. Where our desire is got without content. It is safer to be that which we destroy than by destruction dwell in a doubtful joy. How now, my lord? Why do you keep alone? Sorry it fancies your companions using those thoughts of truth we have died within they think on. But without all remedy to be without regard, what's done is done.
We have scotched the snake, not killed it. She'll close and be herself, whilst our poor malice remains in danger of her former too. Let the frame of things disjoint. Both of the world suffer, ere we eat our meal in fear, or sleep in the affliction of these terrible dreams that shake us nightly. Better be with the dead, whom we, to gain our peace, have sent to peace, than on the torture of the mind to lie in restless ecstasy. Duncan is in his grave. After life's fitful fever, he sleeps well. Treason has done his worst. Nothing can touch him.
Come, gentle my lord. Sleek over your rugged looks. Be bright and jovial among your guests tonight.
So shall I, love, and so I pray be you. Let your remembrance apply to banquet. Make our faces visitors to our hearts, disguising what they really are.
You must leave this.
So full of scorpions is my mind, dear wife. Thou knowest that Banquo Miss Fleance lives.
But even nature's copy is not eternal.
There's comfort yet. They are assailable. Then be thou, John. Ere the bat hath flown his cloistered flight, ere to black Hecate's summons hath run night's yawning peal, there's to be done a deed of dreadful moment.
What's to be done?
Be innocent of the knowledge, dearest, till thou applaud the deed. Come, night, scarf up the tender eye of pitiful day. With thy bloody and invisible hands, tear to pieces this great bond that keeps me pale. Light thickens, and crow makes wing to the rooky wood. Good things of day begin to droop and drowse, while night's black agents to their praise do rouse. Thou marvels at my words, but hold thee still. Things bad begun make strong in themselves by ill. So prithee, go with me.
But I was expecting to join you in
Who did bid thee join with us?
Macbeth.
He needs not our mistrust since he gives us the directions to do his duties just. And stand with us. The west yet glimmers with some streaks of the day. And near approaches the subject of our watch.
Hark! I hear horses.
Give us some light there. Ho!
Then to see. His horses go about.
About a mile from here to the palace gate.
A light! A light!
Then to the city.
Stand to it!
It'll be rain tonight.
And let it come down.
Oh, treachery! Fly, Fleance, fly! Thou mayest revenge! Oh, slink!
Who did put out the light?
Was it not the way?
There is only one down. The sun has set.
Oh, we must of us have our fare. Well, let's away and say how much is done.
at last a hearty welcome.
Oh, thank you, Your Majesty.
Ourself will mingle with society and play the humble host. Our hostess keeps her state, but in time will require her welcome.
Well, pronounce it for me, sir, to all our friends. For my heart speaks they are welcome.
See, they encounter thee with their hearts bells. Both sides are even. Here, I'll sit in the middle. Be large in mirth. None will drink a measure of the table around. There's blood on the face.
Tis Banquo's then.
It's better thee without than he within. Is he dispatched?
Aye, my lord. His throat is cut. That I did.
Thou art the best of the cutthroats. Yet, he's good that did the like for Cleons. If thou didst, thou art the nonpareil.
Most royal sir. Leon's escape.
Then comes my fit again. I'd else been perfect, as whole as marble, as bounded as the rock, as broad and general as the casing air. But now I am cabined, cribbed, confined, bound into saucy doubts and fears. What Banquo said.
Aye, my lord. Safe in a ditch he bides. 20 trench gashes to his head. A least of a death to nature.
Thanks for that. There the grown serpent lies. The worm that's fled hath nature that in time will breed venom. Get thee gone. Tomorrow we'll hear ourselves again.
My royal lord, you do not give the cheer. And the feast is soul that is not vouched.
Sweet remembrance, sir. Now, good digestion, weight on appetite, and health on both.
May it please Your Majesty, sit.
Here had we now our country's honor roofed, were the grace person of our Banquo present, who I may rather challenge for unkindness.
His absence, my lord, lays blame upon his promise. Would it please your highness to grace us with your royal presence?
The table's full.
Oh, here is the place reserved.
Where?
Here, my lord. What is it that moves your highness?
Which of you have done this?
Done what?
Thou cannot say I did it. Never shake thy gory locks at me.
Gentlemen, come, his highness is not well.
No, I pray you stay there. My lord is often thus and has been from his youth. No, keep there. If much you note him, you shall offend him and extend his passion. My lord is often thus. Heed and regard him not. Are you a man?
I, and a bold one, that dare look upon that which might appall the devil.
Oh, proper stuff! This is the very painting of your fear. This is the air-drawn dagger which you said led you to Duncan. Oh, these flaws and starts, imposters in true fear would well become a woman's tale and a winter's fire. Shame itself! Why do you make such faces? You look on a stool.
Prithee, see there? Behold, look, lo, what sayest thou? Why, what care I, if thou cannot speak too?
Quite unmanned folly!
If I stand here, I saw him.
Why, for shame!
Blood hath been shed, ere now in the olden time. Where human statute purged the gentle wheel. Times have been that a man would die and there an end. Now they rise again and push us from our stools. This is more strange than such a murder is.
My worthy lord, your noble friends do lack you.
I do forget. Do not muse at me, my most worthy friends. I have a strange infirmity, which is nothing to those that know me. Come, love and health to all, then I'll sit down. Let's drink some wine. Fill full. I drink to the general joy of the table, and to our dear friend Banquo, whom we miss. Would he were here. To all and to him we thirst, and all to all.
To our duties and the pledge.
Avaunt! And quit my sight! Let the earth hide thee! Thy bones are marrowless, thy blood is cold. There hast no speculation in those eyes thou didst glare with.
Consider this good peers, but as a custom, 'tis no other. Only it spoils the pleasure of the time.
What man dare I dare? Approach thou like the rugged Russian bear, like the armed rhinoceros, the Hurricane tiger. Take any shape but that, and my firm nerves will never tremble. or come alive again, and dare me to the desert with thy sword. If trembling I inhabit, then protest me the baby of a girl. Hence, horrible shadow, unreal mockery, hence! Oh! why, so, being gone, I am a man again. Oh, pray you stay still. It's
You have displaced the mirth, broke a good meeting with most admired disorder.
Can such things overcome us like the summer's cloud without our special wonder? You make me strange when now I think you can behold such sights and keep the natural ruby of your cheeks when mine is blanched with fear.
What sights, mother?
I pray you, speak not. He grows worse and worse. Question enrages him. And at once, good night. And stand not upon the order of your going, but go at once.
Good night.
Good evening and better health attend His Majesty.
And good night to all.
It shall have blood. They say blood shall have blood. Stones have been known to move and trees to speak. Secret is man of blood. What's the night?
Almost at odds with morning.
What sayest thou that Macbeth denies his person at our great bidding?
Did you send to him, sir?
I will tomorrow. Times I will to the weird sisters. More shall they speak. I am bent to know by the worst means, the worst. For mine own good, all causes will give way. I am in blood, stepped in so far. Strange things I have in head, which must be acted ere they be scanned.
You lack the season of all nature. Sleep.
Come, wilt to sleep. My strange self-abuse is the initiate fear. We are yet but young indeed.
Thrice the brinded cat hath mewed.
Thrice and once the hedge pig whined. Of your cries, 'tis time. 'Tis time.
Round about the cauldron go, in the poison entrails throw, which code that under cold stone days and nights past 31, with sweltered venom, sleeping got, and boiled out first in the charmed pot.
Double, double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Fillet of a finny snake in the cauldron boil, and bake, eye of newt, toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog, lizard's leg and an owlet's wing, adder's fork and a blind worm's sting. All to make a charm of powerful trouble, like a hell broth, boil and bubble. Double, double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, maw and gulf, of the ravenous salt sea shark, root of hemlock, dipped in the dark, liver of a blasphemed Jew, gall of goat and slits of yew, silver in the moon's eclipse, nose of Turk and Tartar's lips, finger of a bird-strangled babe, ditch delivered by a ray. Make the gruel thick and slave, and to it a tiger's children, for the ingredients of our cauldron. Double, double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Cool it with the baboon's blood, then the charm is firm and good. By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. Open locks. Whoever knocks.
How now, you secret black and midnight hags? What is it you do?
A deed without a name.
I conjure you, by that which you profess, however you come to know it, answer me. Though you untie the winds and let them fight against the churches, though castles topple on their warders' heads, though palaces and pyramids do slope their heads to their foundations, even till destruction sicken, answer me to what I ask you.
Speak, the man! Say it though, would rather hear it from our mouths or from our master.
Call them. Let me see them.
Lauren Sowsblood, who hath eaten her 9 pharaoh, and greased and sweated from the murderer's gibbet thrown into the flames.
Come high or low, thyself in office deftly show.
Tell me, thou unknown power.
He knows thy thought. Hear his speech, but say thou not.
Macbeth! 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 Beware Macduff! Beware the thing of fight! Dismiss me! Enough!
Whate'er thou art, for thy good caution, thanks. Thou hast marked my fear aright, but one word more.
He will not be commanded. Here is another, more potent than the first.
Macbeth! Macbeth! Macbeth!
Had I 3 ears, I'd hear thee.
The bloody gold and red lips, not the scorn the cabman, for none of woman born shall harm Macbeth.
Then live, Macduff. What need I fear of thee? Yet I'll make assurance double sure, and take the bond of fate. Thou shalt not live and sleep in spite of thunder. What is this that rises like the issue of a king? Wears upon his baby brow the top of sovereignty.
Listen, but speak not to it.
Lion metal, proud and take no care who threats or conspires on. Macbeth shall never vanquish thee until great Burnham Wood on high Dunstane Hill shall come against
That shall never be. Who can impress the forest to bid the tree to unfix his earthbound roots? Sweet bodements, good. Rebellion's head rides never till Burnham Wood rides, and the high-placed Macbeth shall live and pay his breath to time and mortal custom. Yet my heart throbs to know one thing. Tell me, if your art can tell so much, will Banquo's issue ever reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
I will be satisfied. Deny me this, and eternal curse fall on you. Let me know. Why is that cauldron seeking? What is that noise?
Show! Show his eyes and grieve his heart. Come, my shadows, so depart.
Thou art too like the still of Banquo. Down! Thy crown is in mine eyeball. Thy hair is like the first, the third is like the former. Filthy hags, watch and show me this. Fourth, what will the line stretch out to the crack of doom? Another yet? A 7th. I'll see no more. Yet an 8th appears, who bears a glass that shows me many more. Horrible sight, yet I see 'tis true. For the blood vulture Banquo smiles on me and points it down for him. Is this so?
Aye, sire. All this is so. But why stands Macbeth so amazedly? Come, sister, cheer we up your strides, and show the best of our delights. I'll charm the air to make a sound, while you perform your antics round. That this great king may kindly say, our duty did his welcome pay.
Where are they? Gone? At this pernicious hour stand I accursed in the calendar. Come in, without there.
What is thy grace's will?
Saw you the weird sisters?
No, my lord.
Came they not by you?
No, indeed, my lord.
Infected is the air whereon they ride. Damn all those that trust them. I heard the galloping of horse. Who was it came by?
'Tis 2 or 3, my lord, that bring word. Macduff has fled to England.
Fled to England?
Aye, my lord.
Time. Thou anticipate my dread exploits. From this moment, the very firstlings of my heart shall be the firstlings of my hand. Even now, to crown my thoughts with acts, be it thought and done. The castle of Macduff I will surprise. Seize upon Fife, bring to the edge of the sword his wife, his babes, and all unfortunate souls that trace him in his line. No boasting like a fool. This deed I'll do before this purpose cool. But no more sights. Where are these gentlemen? Bring me where they are.
What have they done to make him fly the land?
Must have patience, madam.
He had none. His flight was madness. When our actions do not, our fears do make us traitors.
You know not whether it was his wisdom or his fear.
Wisdom. To leave his wife, to leave his babes and his mansion and his titles from whence he does fly, he loves us not. For even that poor wren, the most diminutive of birds, will stay and fight for her young ones in the nest against the owl. All is the fear and nothing is the love. For the flight runs against all reason.
Dearest cousin, I pray you school yourself. For your husband is noble, wise, judicious, and best knows the fits of the season. I dare not say much more, but cruel are the times when we do not know ourselves from our enemies. Take my leave. Will not be long, but I will return. Blessings upon you, cousin.
Fathered she is, and yet she is fatherless.
I am such a fool. Should I stay longer, it would be both my disgrace and your discomfort. Take my leave, please.
Trust. Your father is dead. What will you do now? How will you live?
At first, dear mother.
What? With worms and flies?
What I mean.
Poor bird. Thou will never fear the gnat, nor the lime, the pitfall, nor the gin.
What jet, mother? My father is not dead while you are saying.
Aye, he is dead. And how will thou do for a father?
Then how will you do for a husband?
I can buy me 20 at any market.
Then you'll buy him to sell again.
You speak with all thy wit, and yet wit enough for thee.
Was my father a traitor, mother?
Aye, he was.
What is traitor?
Why, one who swears and lies.
And Theo traitors not to do so?
Everyone that does so is a traitor and must be hanged.
And must they all be hanged that swear and lie?
Everyone.
Who must hang them?
Why, the honest men.
Then the lies and swears are full. But there are lies and swears even now to be the honest men who hang at them.
God bless thee, poor monkey. How thou talkest.
But how will thou do for a father?
If he were dead, you'd weep for him. If you were not, it would be a good sign that I should quickly have a new father.
Poor Bradler, how thou talkest.
Bless you, fair dame. For you, I am not known. But in your state of honor, I am present. I doubt that some danger come to visit thee nearby. But if thou would accept a homely woman's advice, be not found here. Hence with your little ones. To frighten you thus, he thinks I am too savage. To do worse would be foul cruelty. To deny your force. Heaven preserve you. I dare abide no longer.
Whither should I fly? I have done no harm. Oh wait, I remember now. I am in this earthly world, where to do harm is often laudable, and to do good sometimes is a dangerous folly. And yet, why do I stand behind this womanly defense and say that I have done no harm? What are these faces? Where's your husband? I hope in no place so unsanctified that such as thou may find him. He's a traitor. No.
That was the second villain!
What, you egg? Young fry of treachery?
Can't kill me, Mother!
Let us seek out some desolate shade, and there weep our sad bosoms empty.
Let us rather hold fast the mortal sword, and like good men bestride our downfall and birthdom. Each new day, new widows howl, new orphans cry, new sorrows strike heaven on the face, so that it resounds with Scotland.
What I believe, I'll wail, and what I can redress, I will. What you have spoke, it may be so, perchance. This tyrant, whose sole name blisters our tongue, was once thought honest. You have loved him well. He hath not touched you yet. I am young, but something you may deserve of him through me to offer up a weak, poor, innocent lamb to appease an angry God.
I am not treacherous.
But Macbeth is. I crave your pardon.
I have lost my hopes.
Perhaps even there where I did find my doubt. Why in that rawness left you wife and child? Those precious, strong knots of love, without taking leave?
Bleed, bleed, poor country. Great tyranny, lay thy base ashore, for goodness dare not stop thee. Fare thee well, Lord. I would not be the villain that thou thinkst for the whole space that's in the tyrant's grist.
Be not offended. I speak not in fear of you. I think our country sinks beneath the yoke. It weeps and it bleeds, and each new day a gash is added to her wounds. I think there would be here, from gracious England, an offer of thousands. What I am is thine, and my poor country's to command. Before thy approach, old Seward was setting forth with 10,000 warlike men. Now we'll together, and the chance of goodness be like our warranted quarrel. Why are you silent?
Such welcome and unwelcome things at once. 'Tis hard to reconcile.
See, who comes here? My countryman, yet I know him not.
My ever-gentle cousin, welcome hither.
Sir, amen.
I know him now. Good God, be time to remove the means that make us strangers.
To stand Scotland where it did.
Alas, poor country almost afraid to know itself, where violent shrieks, and cries, and groans that rend the night air were made unmarked, where violent sorrow seems a modern ecstasy, and good men's lives expire.
Relation too nice, again too true.
What's the newest grief?
That of an hour's age, O Mr. Speaker. When I came hither to transport the tidings which I have heavily borne, there came rumor of many a worthy fellow. Now is the time for action. Your eye in Scotland will create soldiers. Make our women fight to doff their dire distresses.
Be it their comfort. We are coming thither. Gracious England hath lent us good Seward and 10,000 men.
Would I could answer this comfort with the like, but I have words that would be howled in the desert air.
What concern they?
It shares some woe, but for the most part it pertains to you alone.
If it be mine, keep it not from me. Quickly, let me have it.
And not your ears despise my tongue forever, for it shall possess them with the heaviest words they've ever yet to hear.
I can guess at it.
Your castle is surprised. Wife and babes savagely slaughtered.
Merciful heaven! What man? Give sorrow words. The grief that does not speak bids the heart break.
My children, too?
Children, wife, servants, all who could be found.
And I must be from thence. My wife, killed, too?
I have said.
Be comforted. Let's cure this deadly grief.
He has no children. All my pretty ones? Did you say all? Oh, Helkit, all. All my pretty little chickens in their damn it. One fell swoop.
Dispute it like a man.
I shall do so, but I must also feel it as a man. Did heaven look on and not play their part? Oh, sinful Macbeth, for you were they struck down. Not for their own demerits, but for mine, fell slaughter on their souls. Heaven rest them now.
Let this be the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger. Blunt not the heart. Enrage it.
Oh, I could play the woman with mine eyes, or the braggart with my tongue. But gentle heavens, bring this fate of Scotland within my sword slight.
This tune goes manly. Come, go we to the king. Our power is ready. Macbeth is ripe for shaking. Receive what cheer you may. The night is long that never finds the day.
last see her walk?
Why, since the king went into the field, I have seen her don her nightgown, take up a piece of paper, hold it, read it, write upon it, afterwards seal it, yet all this while in the most best sleep.
A great perturbation in nature, to receive at once the benefit of sleep, to know the effects of watching. And her slumbering agitation besides her walking. What have you heard her say?
That man which I will not repeat after her.
You may to me, and as most mates shall show it.
Neither to you nor to anyone else having no witness to confirm my speech. Lo you, here she comes, and by my life, in the most
How came she by that night?
'Tis her command to have a light beside her every night.
But you see, her eyes are open.
Aye, but the sense is shut.
What is it she does now? You see how she rubs her hands.
'Tis a custom action, to seem as this washing her hands. I've seen her continue doing this in each quarter of an hour.
And here's the spot.
She speaks. I will put aside what comes from her to satisfy my remembrance more strongly.
Out. Dan! Spot out, I say! 1, 2. Neither. 'Tis time to do it. Hell is murky. Fine, my lord, fine! A soldier and a feared? What need we fear? Who knows it when none can call our power to account? Yet who would have thought the old man had so much blood in him?
Mark that.
To think if I've had a wife, where is she now? Will these hands ne'er be clean? No more of that, my lord, no more of that. You mar all with this guarding.
Go to. You have heard what you should not.
She has spoken what she should not. Heaven knows what she has known.
Here's the smell of the blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia will ne'er sweeten this little hand.
What a sigh is there? A heart is sorely charmed.
I would not have such a heart in my bosom for the dignity of whole body.
Well, well, well.
And pray God it be mad.
This disease is beyond my practice. Though I have known those who have walked in their sleep and died holily in their beds.
Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banquo buried. He cannot come out on his grave.
Even so,
To bed. To bed. There's a knocking at the gate. Come. Come. Give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed. To bed. To bed.
will she now to bed?
Directly.
Foul whisperings are abroad. Unnatural deeds breed unnatural trouble. More need she the divine than the physician. Go to. Look after her. And so good night.
Good night, Doctor.
My mind she has made me. Amazed my spirit. I think, but I dare not speak.
English power is near. Led on by Malcolm, sunk to seaward in the good Macbeth. Revenge is burned within them.
Near Burnham Wood shall we meet them. That way are they coming.
Who knows if Donalby be with his brother?
For certain, sir, he is not. I have a file of all the gentry. There is Seward's son and many other unruffed youths who even now protest their first of manhood.
What does the tyrant?
Great Dunsinane he strongly fortifies. Some say he's mad, others call it valiant fury, but for certain he will not buckle his distempered cause within the belt of rule.
Now does he feel his secret murder sticking to his hands. Those he commands move only on his command, never in love. Now does he find his tongue hang loose about him, like a giant's robe on a thievish dwarf.
And who could doubt his senses to recoil, when all others within him doth condemn itself for being there?
Well, on we march, to give obedience where 'tis truly owed.
Yes, march towards Burnham.
Bring me no more reports till Burnham Wood removed to Dunsinane. I cannot taint with fear. What's the boy Malcolm? Was he not born of woman? The spirits that know all mortal consequences have pronounced me thus. Fear not, Macbeth, for none born of woman shall ever have power upon me. Then fly, false thanes, and mingle with the English epicures. The mind I sway by and the heart I bear shall never sag with doubt or shake with fear.
Your Majesty! Ben!
The devil damn thee black, thou cream-faced loon! Where got thou that goose look?
There are 10,000
geese, villain?
Soldiers, sir.
Go prick thy face and ever read thy fear, thou lily-livered boy. What soldier's patch? Oh, death of thy soul! Those linen cheeks of thine are counselors to fear. What soldier's way face?
The English force, to please you.
Take thy face hence. Satan! I am sick at heart when I behold Satan, I say! This push will cheer me ever or seat me now. I have lived long enough. My way of life has fallen into the sear, the yellow leaf. And that which should accompany old age, love, honor, obedience, and troops of friends, I must not look to have. But instead, curses, not loud, but deep, mouth-honored breath, which the poor heart would not. Satan!
What is your gracious pleasure, my lord?
What news more?
All was confirmed that was reported.
I'll fight till my flesh be hacked. Bring me my armor.
'Tis not needed yet.
I'll put it on. Send out more horses. Skirt the country round. Hang those that talk of fear. Bring me my armor. How does the patient, doctor?
Not so sick, my lord, as she is troubled by big fancies that mar her from her rest.
Cure her of that. Canst thou not minister to a mind diseased? Raise out the written troubles of the brain? Cleanse the stuffed bosom of that perilous stuff which weighs upon the heart?
Wherein the patient must minister to himself.
Throw physic to the dogs. I'll none of it. Come, put on my armor. Give me my sword. The thanes fly from me, doctor. If thou could, doctor, cast the water from my land, find her disease and purge it to a sound and pristine health, I would applaud thee. Pull it off, I say. What rhubarb, kind, what purgative drug would scour the English hence? Hear thou of them?
Aye, sire. Thy royal preparation makes us hear something.
I will not be afraid of death till Burnham Forest come to Dunsinane.
But I am Dunsinane free and clear. Profit would hardly draw me near.
Cousins, I hope the days are near at hand that Chambers will be safe.
We doubted nothing.
What wood is this before us?
The wood of Burnham.
Let every soldier hew him down a bough and bear it before him. Thereby shall we shadow the numbers of us.
It shall be done.
The confident tyrant keeps still in Dunsinane and will endure our setting down before it.
'Tis his main hope, for where there is advantage to be given, both more or less have given him the revolt, and none do serve with him but constrained things whose hearts are absent too.
Let our just censures attend the true event and put on industrious soldiership.
The time approaches that will make us know what we shall say we have, and son, what we owe. Advance the war!
Hang out our banners on the outward walls. The cry is still they come. Our castle's strength will laugh at a siege. Here let them lie till famine and the ague eat them up. Were they not forced to fight with those that should be ours, we might have met them beard to beard and beat them backward home. What was that cry?
It was the cry of woman, my good lord.
I almost forgot to taste of fears. The times have been that my senses would have cooled to hear a night shriek. I was stuffed full with horrors. Direness familiar with my slaughterous thoughts could not startle me. Wherefore was that cry?
The queen, my lord, is dead.
She should have died hereafter. There would have been time for such a word. Tomorrow, and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace, from day to day, till the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have glided fools their way to dusty death. Out, life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour on the stage, then is heard no more. It's a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Now comes to use thy tongue, thy story quickly.
I should report that which I say I saw, but know not how to say it.
Well, say, sir.
As I did stand my watch upon the hill, I looked toward Burnham and anon. The wood began to move.
Liar and slave!
Let me endure thy wrath, if it be not so. May you see it coming within this 3 mile of moving grove.
If thou speakest false, upon the next tree shalt thou hang alive, till famine cling thee. Thy speech be truth, I care not if thou dost as much for me. I begin to doubt the equivocation of a theme that lies like truth. Fear not, till Burnham Wood come to Dunsinane. And now a wood come to Dunsinane. Arm, and out! This which he avouches does appear. There's no flying hamster tarrying here. Begin to grow weary of the sun. I wish the estate of the world were now undone. Ring the alarm bell. Blow wind. Come wreck. At least we'll die with the harness on our back.
Now near enough! Your leafy screens throw down and show like those you are! You, worthy uncle, shall with my cousin lead our first battle! Worthy Macduff and we shall take up pawns. What else remains to do?
Fare you well. Do we but find the tyrant's power tonight, let us be beaten if we cannot fight.
Break all our trumpets' feet! Give them all breath! Those clamorous harbingers of blood and death! Charge!
They have tied me to a stake. I cannot glide, but bear-like I must fight the course. What's he that was not born of woman? Such a man am I to fear or none.
You! What is thy name?
Thou be afraid to hear it.
No! Though thou should cost thyself any name harsher than that is in hell.
My name's Macbeth.
Oh! The devil himself cannot pronounce a title more hateful to mine ear.
Nor more fearful.
Thou liest! Thou
Thou was born of woman. What swords I smile at. Weapons lack to scorn. Brandished by a man as a woman born.
That way the noise is. Tear it through thy face! If thou be slain, but by no stroke of mine, my wife and my children's ghosts will haunt me still. I will not strike at wretched Kerns. Either thou, Macbeth, else my sword with an unbattered edge I sheath again undeeded. There thou shouldst be. Let me find him fortune, and more I beg not.
This way, my lord. The castle is gently rendered. The tyrant's people on both sides do fight. The noble thanes do bravely in the war.
We have met with foes that strike beside us.
Enter, sir, the castle.
Why should I play the Roman fool and die on my own sword? Whilst I see lives, the gashes do better on them.
Turn, hellhound! Turn!
Of all men else, I have avoided thee. But get thee back. My soul is too much charged with the blood of thine already.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword. Thou, bloodier villain than terms can give thee out.
Thou losest labor. As easy mayest thou the entrenching air with thy keen sword impress, as make me bleed. Let fall thy blade on vulnerable crest. For I bear a charmed life, which must not yield to one of woman born.
To spare thy charm, and let the angel that thou still hast served tell thee, Macbeth was from his mother's womb untimely ripped.
Accursed be that tongue that tells me so, for it hath cowed my better part of man. Be those juggling fiends no more believed. Keep the word of truth to our ear, but break it to our hope. I will not fight thee.
Then yield thee, coward, and live to be the show and gaze at our time! We'll have thee, as our rare monsters are painted on a pool, and underwrit, where may you see the tyrant?
I will not yield to kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet and be baited by the rabble's curse. Though Burnham would come to Dunsinane, and thou oppose being of no woman born, yet I will try the last. Before my body I will throw my warlike shield. Lay on, Macduff, and damned be him that cries, hold enough!
I would the friends we missed were safe arrived.
Sun must go off, and yet by these I see so great a day as this is cheaply bought.
Worthy Macduff is missing, and your noble son.
Your son, my lord, paid a soldier's debt. He did not live until he was a man, but in the unshrinking station where he fought, like a man he died.
And he is dead?
Aye. Your cause for sorrow must not be measured by his worth, for then it hath no end.
Had he his hurts before?
Aye, on the front.
Why then, God's soldier behaved. Had I as many sons as I have hairs, I would not wish to them a fairer death.
He is worth more sorrow, and that I will give for him.
He's worth no more. They say he parted well and paid his score, and so God is with him. Here comes newer comfort.
Hail, King! For so thou art! Behold! Where stands the usurper's cursed hand? The time is free! I see thee compassed with thy kingdom's pearl, who speak my salutation in their minds, whose voice I desire with mine! Hail, King of Scotland!
Hail, King of Scotland!
We shall not spend a large expense of time before we reckon with your several loves and make us even with you. My thanes and kinsmen, henceforth be earls, the first in ever Scotland in such an honor named. So, thanks to all at once, and to each one, whom we invite to see us crowned at Scone